Hey, it's your girl Stacey, and it's time for the weekend vlog. So today I wanted to talk about my recent diagnosis with diabetes. Last weekend on my vlog, what was it, concerts, comforters, and carbs, cutting carbs, I mentioned that, and after that I got a flood of text messages and emails, saying, hey, I didn't know you were diabetic. Are you okay? When did that happen? What's going on? So yes, first of all, I am okay. It happened, I got the diagnosis right at about a month, maybe 6 weeks ago. So, but this wasn't something I was surprised by. So I'll kind of start off with where it happened and where I am now. So about maybe a year ago, maybe a little more, I went to the doctor for my routine yearly physical, and she does my blood work and stuff, and she was like, okay, Stacey, your blood work looks like you're heading down the road to diabetes. I'm already predisposed because of my family history. My father, both of my grandmothers, and my first cousin have diabetes, and I have other family members, but those are the immediate ones that come to mind. My cousin actually was diagnosed with diabetes when she was a teenager. So they thought I would, really thought I may become diabetic before now, but, thank God I hadn't. So anyway, I had the information, and basically I didn't do what I was supposed to do. I kept eating reckless. I kept just doing whatever. So this year when I went for my doctor's appointment, they did blood work again, and it came back and I was diagnosed. So with that being said, when I first heard it, I was surprised, but I wasn't surprised, and it's kind of like I had to own it and say, well, you did this to yourself. You knew better, but you didn't do better. So it was a wake-up call, and I think maybe I have been praying to God for years now. I've always not been happy with my weight. So, Lord, please help me lose this weight. Help me to do better. Help me to be healthier. And I think He gave me a swift kick in the butt. Like, look, you're not doing it on your own, so let me give you a reason where you have to. Your high blood pressure, I was diagnosed with that when I was 25. So that I don't think was more. I think that really was heredity, because other family members of mine have high blood pressure as well, and some of them are very healthy. So I really think that is a heredity thing. And at the time when I was diagnosed, I wasn't at my current weight. I've never been a skinny girl, but I was healthier and active then. So that I contribute to heredity. And then maybe 5-6 years ago, maybe 4 or 5, I'm not sure, I was diagnosed with high cholesterol. Again, eating reckless and not doing what I should. So I think God was like, look here, I've given you 2 things. That hasn't, gotten you together. So I'm going to give you something that's going to make you have to lose this weight. So hence, this is what I think happened to me. But I believe that it can be reversed. My doctor has told me it could be reversed by weight loss, which I'm at between 13 and 15 pounds right now. Still need to keep on going and doing that. So diet, exercise, just doing better and knowing better. So that's where I am. I feel fine now that I know what's going on. Maybe 2 to 3 months ago, I was very lethargic, tired. I was thirsty, which is one of the signs. But like I said, I take other medications that you can, that's one of the symptoms as well. And then I urinate a lot. But again, I'm on a diuretic for my blood pressure. Have been urinating every 5 minutes, every hour, on the hour, since I was 25. So that wasn't new to me either. So that didn't stand out to me. I just thought really I was just tired from work. It's hot, etc. But come to find out, that's what it was. So now that I'm on this medication and I'm eating better, I'm feeling better. So that's where I am. I'm fine. I was sick the first 2 weeks with the getting adjusted to the medicine, and sometimes I still feel a little queasy, but I'm doing well as far as that goes. So don't y'all worry about that. Your girls got it together. You ain't got to hit me in the head but one time for me to wake up. So I know this was my final wake-up call. So I'm awake. So with that being said, when I went that day to the doctor, my glucose level was at like 3 something, and my what is it, ACL? I may be saying that wrong, y'all. Still learning my terminology. Was at an 8. So it was high. So they gave me the diagnosis. Now when I check my glucose levels in the morning, I'm in the 100s, which is good. I still need to bring it down to like 100, 110, but that's my goal. I'm getting there. So with that being said, with my morning routine and evening routine, what I do, I check my blood sugar, and I have this blood glucose monitor. It's a one-touch Vario. So that's what it looks like. And I use these to prick my finger. And I'm not going to prick it for y'all. I've already pricked today and it hurt. Today I had the number up too high, I think, because it has the levels of puncture or whatever you call it. And I had it on like a 7 by mistake, and it should have been on like 5. So it gave me a nice little prick and it hurt. So see, you could adjust the numbers. So now it's on 6. Now how I got there, I don't know. But I like to keep it on like 4 or 5. So this is what I prick my finger with. It's not like back in the day when you go to the doctor and they have that aluminum strip and prick your finger. It's like this. These are the little lancets or whatever you call it. So you stick it in like this, and I'm not going to waste this, but it's a twisty top. So I would twist this off, and there's a little needle right here. And so once I do that, I put the top back on, and it looks like this. And so I just take it and press this little white button, and then the blood comes out, and I prick my finger. And I have test strips, and this is what they look like. So I put this in, and it says, see, apply blood. So I would just put my finger here, and the blood will go on that dark strip, and it will give me a reading. So I do this every morning and at night, and when I do that, let me put all my stuff up, y'all. I have to record what my blood glucose level is on a document that looks like this, and it has, you know, the date and the breakfast, before breakfast, insulin. I'm not on insulin. I take metformin. I'm not insulin dependent, and I'm not going to be. I'm not even claiming that. But then you have, you know, after breakfast, lunch, dinner, etc. And then this gives you the target numbers up here at the top. And I take this back to my doctor. So I have my first visit since diagnosis on Monday, and I have a sheet to take to him, or 2 sheets like this. So that's that. That's what I do twice a day. And like I said, I record it and kind of monitor where I am. It comes in a little case, and I can take it with me to work, drop it in a suitcase, whatever. It's really compact. So that's that. And then another thing I did once I was diagnosed, I shared with my good friend Jasmine. And she knows another good friend of ours that was recently diagnosed with diabetes. So I contacted her. She had she had known like 2 months before me that she had become a diabetic. So she was very helpful with me, giving me some tips, kind of talking to me about how I would feel on that medication, because she was on the same medication. So one thing I would suggest, reach out to people you know that may be in the same situation as you for tips and help. Do your research. So I went online to the American Diabetes Association, and you know, basically I looked at their website, printed out stuff, and then you can send inquiries. And I told them I'm recently diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. I'm not familiar with this disease. I don't know what to eat, where to start, etc. So lo and behold, today I got a package in the mail with all this great information. First I got I'm going to share it with you guys. I got a welcome letter that kind of tells me what's in here. And it's from the Chief Scientific and Medical Officer for the American Diabetes Association, Robert E. Ratner. So I got a letter with that. They sent me some healthy and tasty recipes that I could eat. And you can always go to, it's not on this one, it's on the other magazine. They also, I think Nutrisystem might be one of their sponsors. So I got something on losing weight and controlling your diabetes and helping to manage it. And, you know, just some get started items with a recipe on the back. And you see Nutrisystem in the corner, which makes me think that's one of their sponsors. Then I got the Choose to Live magazine, and this is where I was saying the website. You can go to diabetes.org and get all this information. And there's an 800 number right here. And it's a survival kit, really. It tells you, you know, basically the basics, the difference between type 1, type 2, and gestational diabetes. It talks about managing your diabetes, A1C level. That's what I was trying to say and earlier. And getting the best care. It talks about the planning healthy meals. And this is a great book. It has, it's very colorful. It talks about physical activity, medications, different symptoms, things to avoid. It talks about even the warning signs of heart attacks and strokes because they all go together. You know, so it's a very good book. It even talks about sexuality and childbirth because that can be affected by diabetes as well. It's another thing I wanted to show you all in here. If I can find it. Oh, yes. So, like the sheet I just showed you that I'm taking to the doctor, they have one of those in here to monitor your glucose levels. So, it's really some really good tools. So, you know, I would definitely advise that you do your research on that as well. You know, whatever it is, learn about the disease, turn it around, do what you have to do. You know, I want to know everything I need to know about this disease. And what I've learned so far, it is manageable. You just really got to change how you think. So, like today, I'm going to a birthday party for my niece. I know she's going to have cupcakes. It's a cupcake birthday party. So, with that being said, I made sure that I planned to eat that today. So, I may have skipped on something I would have normally eaten for lunch so I could have that cupcake or whatever. So, it's just planning ahead and eating healthy. You know, really, like I said, I think I had come to the point where something needed to be done so I wouldn't keep eating recklessly and going down this road. So, I want you all to share with me any tips you may have. If you got questions, like, let's learn together. Like, knowledge is power. So, email me, Instagram me, Facebook me, YouTube me with tips, questions, suggestions, etc. And I'll do the same. Because at first, I didn't want to share my diagnosis because I was like, now I got to hear, girl, you know you should have been eating better. Girl, you should have lost that weight. Girl, you should be active. You know, like, I didn't want to hear that. I knew that I had messed up. I just wanted to keep it to myself or whatever. But then I realized, I said, Stacey, the whole point of your vlogs is to educate, to inform, to share, to have fun. So why not? You know, like I said, when I mentioned it last week and I got that response from people, I said, well, maybe people want to know. And I know it helped me knowing that someone else was in my shoes, a good friend in my circle that I could talk to. So who knows? I may be able to help somebody, and that's what I want to do. So you're not alone. It's happened to me. Several things have happened to me, but that's life, and I'm going to be all right. So, and you are too. So anyway, please, like I said, feel free to share. And if you want to keep it anonymous, that's fine too. But I really want to generate some conversation around this. I see some of my friends on Facebook doing things, being active. And, you know, I kind of know they may be going through some things health-wise as well. So why not help each other? You know, this getting old thing ain't pretty, y'all. 40 plus is kicking my butt, but that's all right. I'm going to turn it around. And at 50, I'm going to be fit and 50. How about that? I'm claiming that, fit and 50. All right. So anyway, have a wonderful weekend. I hope this was helpful. Like I said, reach out to me. I love to hear from you. And until next week, holla.